That's an introduction. The boss, yeah. Actually, I cut some ribbons as well, but nevertheless. Borlänge, it's a town was recently celebrated that we have been a city for 70 years, and we also celebrated that we have passed the magical numbers of 50,000 people living here. We are, in our context, that's a good step, a sign that this city is growing. Talking about branding a place is one of the most popular words in politics nowadays, I think. When people think about this region, I think many things about this small Dalecarlian horse. They think about Anders Zorn and Carl Larsson that made those pictures of this countryside 150 years ago. And this is a marvelous picture when we sell this region in touristic purpose. We are one of the largest place where people go for their holidays and to visit in this area. But we have problem with that picture because we want to also tell all the world that we have leading industry, we have a diverse career opportunity for people who want to move here. So we try to add some values in our way of brand this city. Of course, everything started in Borlänge with the steel plant and the paper mill. In the European crisis and in economies, the last year we have some trouble, but still we have one of the most modern paper mill, just 5 kilometers in that direction, and we have a big steel plant that make very good, high quality steel. I don't know the English word. I have to talk to the managing people in SSAB, but they make steel that works very well in cars. There's very well, it's light and it's stable and it sells very good. But in this crisis, of course, we struggle with some problem. Those are the two major industries that founded this city more than 100 years ago, when everything started. But we have, and as a consequence of that, we have lots of transport industry. Transport sector is big. We have railroads. We are one of the most important railroad places in Sweden, where almost 25% of the export industry, export tonnage passes through Borlänge on its way from the north out to Gothenburg, and we strongly try to promote that this sector will increase. And in the transport sector, we also have a rather growing sector of information technology. Some of the people in that sector says that Borlänge is one of Sweden's most. We have most consultants in the IT sector per capita in Sweden. So more than 1,000 consultants in the IT sector. Transport, we have some big governmental myndighet, vad heter det? State authorities, and that's for the transport sector. Two of the big authorities is located here with almost 2,000 employees in Borlänge. So those, and then we have, of course, as I mentioned, the tourist sector, and we try as many cities to add new values in this tourist sector, working with what's called the creative and the culture sector. We actually start to go into the film sponsoring. We chosen 2 titles that would add this value to the city, describing what we are. The first that had the premiere last Wednesday is called The Losers. And the upcoming film is called White Trash. So we choose those titles very carefully, as you understand. Now, we think that having films produced and in Borlänge, according that we have also a big music sector, and in the neighboring town we are very good in the making games, video games, and games for the computers. We think those 3 parts of the culture sector add some value to each other, and it can be a growing part of our industry. And just that to try to find ways to develop new areas, new industries, new way of make our money is why we are so pleased to have you here. We work very close with Sture and the people at the Teknikdalen Foundation, and we hope that that work can develop and make new industry rise. We can see that when I arrived to this city 35 years ago, it was the steel and the paper that was totally dominating. Now our local shops, like we have just opened a new IKEA here, we have a mall called Polen in just 500 meters from the city center, that there are more people involved in trade and then in the traditional way of make a living in Borlänge. So we try to develop, find new ways, new areas, and of course our incubator and the Teknikdalen Foundation is very, very important for us there. Talking about Borlänge, you also have to mention that Borlänge is one of the places that have been taken as responsible for the immigration policy of Sweden. In the last years we had for a small city almost a new school class arriving every month. Last year we had 600 Somalian kids coming here in these family reunions taking place. So we have lots of immigrants from various parts of the world. And we see that as a chance to learn new things, to open our minds for new way of thinking, and to be a member of the international society, I think is very important. We have today cooperation with some cities out in the world. The most successful work we have in a city in China, very similar to Borlänge, Wuhan city, just like Borlänge, 11 million inhabitants. In the Hubei region, that's 36 million people living there. But nevertheless, we have been working for them for almost 10 years in various areas, including business, but also in social issues, youth issues, and other things, environmental issues. We also have yesterday, the chairman of Chisinau, mayor of Chisinau, arrived. He's the mayor in the capital of Moldavian. We work with them also in several projects. And we have some other sister cities where we have been working with. But we tried to find new ways, not this sister city way of thinking. We just want to have partners outside in Europe, so we started to travel a lot. And the media likes to tell all of our voters about our expensive trips outside the world, but I think that's very important to be a part of the international society. We have been to Austin when we try to develop the music industry. We have been to Manchester trying to learn about how they work with integration, and so on. And I hope to see you someday when our roads will cross, because we have a common interest and we can develop new exciting projects for the future. So once again, very welcome to Borlänge. Hope you will enjoy your stay, and hope you will have some time to go outside and take care of the sun, because it's very rare here up in north of Europe. Welcome to Borlänge.